Bitcoin right now is sitting on the very final hurdle. If Bitcoin can break this hurdle, then we are entering a very exciting bull trend for Bitcoin. And if, however, we fail to break through, what could well happen to Bitcoin is perhaps a little alarming. Let's find out what's going on in Bitcoin charts as well as the latest Bitcoin news. So jumping into the charts, guys, I want to show you something very exciting that is playing out. We have been in this ascending triangle all the way back since the end of January, putting in higher lows each time. And now looking in, we had a symmetrical triangle. We've been breaking out in this rising wedge pattern here, guys. Right now, we are literally sat below this key level. And why is it such a key level? Well, looking into the chart, you can see previously it acted this key line of support here, guys. And then it's been flipped and turned into this line of resistance. Well, right now, we can see it's already tested it one, you could probably call that 2 times 3, 4, and now we're testing for the 5th. And this will be the 6th time of asking at this level. Breaking through this could well see an explosive move towards the upside. But there are other things that are showing in the chart that could well be a bit alarming if it wasn't for the Bitcoin news that I have just been looking at. So let's jump over and look at the Bitcoin news. So guys, you've probably heard Bitcoin referred to as digital gold. And the reason for that is because gold will always store its value. It can't be inflated, or it can't be sort of manipulated, etc. Although maybe probably it can. There's other things behind that, but we'll talk about that later on. So what we're looking at right now is a lot of conflict that's happening in the world, the Russia-Ukraine crisis, various other things that are happening, which should indicate that gold should be spiking. The price of gold right now should be going up really aggressively, but actually looking into the charts, it had a bit of a spike around the 7th, 8th of March, but then it's just dropped back down and is sort of pedaling along, not doing anything very exciting, whereas the Bitcoin price has been booming as the world has been facing a number of different crises, etc., which is showing that maybe Bitcoin is starting to take a bit of the heat away from gold. During the same period, on the other hand, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have increased capital funding. Research from Fundstrat said venture capital buyers invested approximately $4 billion into the crypto space during the last 3 weeks of February. An additional $400 million have been poured into startups within the crypto space in the first week of 2022. The increased funding suggests that investors are seeking more exposure to the space they believe could withstand consequences of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. And the reason for that, guys, is because actually, although a lot of rules and restrictions have been put onto Russia right now, actually they're kind of benefiting from the fact that they can now have to use crypto, and that's probably beneficial for the crypto market. Obviously, there's lots of other problems that are going on over there, but this is typically what we're seeing in crypto right now. Russia has been looking at crypto as a potential way and means to be able to continue to trade while they get taken away from being able to trade fiat currencies, etc. Also, you've seen Ukraine receiving a lot of funding, etc., sponsorship and charitable fundraising, all in the form of crypto, because obviously that's another way in which people can receive money and use the money to help them fight in their cause. So obviously, guys, the news is pretty positive from a crypto point of view. Okay, well, what I want to show you is this. This is the breakout we've been in recently. We're looking at the 15-minute chart now. Okay, so this is just back from the 17th of March when we initially had the breakout from this symmetrical triangle, and we've been in this rising wedge. Okay, ultimately a rising wedge is a bearish pattern. Okay, so it does mean that you're going to increase in price, but ultimately you will top out and come back down. In the same way that a falling wedge, you'll do the same and then break towards the upside. We're now looking at this potentially bearish scenario playing out. You can see that at the top of this we had a break which did break out the top of the pattern, which is quite rare. And that was rejected stiffly at this key orange line. The orange line is our 45k or $44,900 line in the sand. And you can see we're starting to round off. Right now, we have got literally until the end of this pattern, which is right here, just on the 28th of March, which is approximately a couple of days away, to be able to break beyond this orange line. If we do not break beyond that orange line, in my opinion, we're going to come down, we're going to break out the bottom of this pattern, which ultimately has a price target down here. And that might not seem that concerning, being that we're at 40k a few days ago. But zooming out and looking at the 4 hour, you can see that a return back towards these levels down here would likely suggest that we're going to head lower than that. And that's because, guys, usually this pattern started here, and then it's finishing here. But ultimately, we usually finish around 75% of the way through this pattern, which is pretty much here. So if we're looking for about 75% of the way through the pattern, guys, you're going to put it probably around here. And you'll see 75% of the way through the pattern is the 28th of March. lo and behold, that's pretty much where the end of this pattern is here. If we're not able to see a break beyond the 45k level in the next 24 to 48 hours, we're likely to tail off. But because of the news, because of where we are, because of the fact we've been banging on this door so many times right now, I think we are going to push and we are going to be able to break beyond the 45k. And what I want to do to work out where we're going to go if we break beyond that key level at $45,000 is we take a swing high, drop it down to a swing low down here. So in my opinion, guys, if we have this breakout, which could well be happening in the next 24 hours or so, 46,647 is the next line in the sand. I can see us hitting this level, coming back for a retest. And that's perfectly good, right? If we come back and we retest at the 45k and hold that level, then we're going to be pushing for the next one, which is sat there at $50,000. Previously, you can see, big line of resistance of $50,000, okay? So $50,000, again, looking back before, $50,000, a very key area for Bitcoin, nice round number. And ultimately, beyond that, you know, we could see another bounce and a push. It doesn't always happen like that. Sometimes we go straight through and we can do things like this. But these are the key levels to watch. Right now, my target in the short space is 46,000 with a hope that we're going to come and retest and hold that support, 45, just under 45k. And then we are well and truly on our way. Price target for this pattern sat up here at $56,000, 0.618, key level to be looking at, 0.618, always a very key level once we have a swing low to a swing high, and if we were to have a swing high, swing low, looking at the 1.618. Okay, so 0.618 right now, key level. Bitcoin is targeting that. If we're able to break and stay above these levels, 50k, etc., then we are well and truly on our way to being able to have a continuation pattern that's going to bring us all the way up to around $74,000, $75,000 for the Bitcoin price later on in this year. Don't get me wrong, this is not going to happen overnight, guys. It could well take until sort of June, July to be able to playing around in these areas. And then who knows what's going to happen about that point. Everything else is just speculation because this is the only stuff we've got to work with. It's taken from the previous two swing highs that have happened in the last sort of year or so. The last one was pretty much the 16th of April, so we've seen a full sort of cycle play out and now starting to move again up towards the next one. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed that video. If you have, smash the like button. And if you are new to crypto and you want to learn more about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and hear tips and tricks on when to buy and sell crypto, make sure you subscribe to the House of Crypto. Thanks very much for watching, guys. See you soon. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.